what would that, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Tuesday the 7th, it must be signed, otherwise you can't use it on the exam. Okay, we're going to look at number 11, which you had to do a problem like this on the homework last night. Y is less than or equal to x plus 1. Okay, so it's already in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So if you've got your y-axis and your x-axis, okay, we're going to graph this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. Okay, we're going to put a dot on 1. And then it's up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, or down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And we get this nice straight line, and it is a solid line because it's underlined. And so now where do we shade? Y is less than this. So should it be above the line or below the line if it's less than?
Below.
Below. So the bottom should be shaded.
Some of the things you might want to add to your cheat sheet would be, your y equals mx plus b form, and that your b is your y-intercept. That's what you start with, and your m is your slope, and that's what you go up or down if that's something that you struggle with.
Okay. Any questions about number 11? All right, let's look at 12.
Everyone should be writing these down.
All right, we're looking at 12, which says y equals x plus 3 and x equals 2. You're going to choose the correct graph for the system of inequalities. Okay, so again we have a y-axis and an x-axis. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so first I've got a line at x equals 2. So we go over 1, 2, and it's just a solid line at 2. Then we've got y equals x plus 3. So remember we started our 3. 1, 2, 3. We go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, or down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So that would look like A. Any questions about this, how I graphed both of those? I think sometimes you guys get mixed up if the graph is just x equals something. It just means where x is 2, you make a line up and down. Okay? Let's look at 13 then. 13 says y equals negative 1x and x plus y equals 7. So how am I going to solve these? Figure out where they cross. I can do it 3 different ways. Do you remember the 3 different ways? Graphing. What else is there? Substitution. What else? Elimination. In this case, what do you want to do? I might do substitution for this one because it already has y equals something. So then I'm going to rewrite it. X plus negative 1x equals 7. Okay. What is x minus x? We get 0 equals 7. Can you have 0 equals 7? So what would the answer to this be? No solution. Okay, let's look at 14. For number 14, we have x plus y equals 8 and x minus y equals 4. Okay, raise your hand if you want to graph. Raise your hand if you want to do substitution. Raise your hand if you want to do elimination. Okay, it's kind of set up for elimination. You see the x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, and the numbers are all by itself. That might be a hint of why we want to do the elimination method. So the elimination method means I'm going to do what? Add straight down. 8 plus 4 is 12. Y minus y gives me 0. X plus x is 2x. Now what do I do? Divide by 2. And x equals 6. Now that I have x, what do I do next?
X and to solve for y.
Plug it back in to solve for y. So I've got 6 plus y equals 8. Subtract 6 from both sides, and y equals 2. So which one has x is 6, y is 2? Do you have C? X is 6 and y is 2. Oh, it should be changed. Cross it out and write the right answer in. Right. Let's look at 15. 15, we have 4x minus 2y equals 10. And we had 2x plus 2y equals negative 10. So what do we want to do this time? Graphing, substitution, or elimination?
Elimination.
I'd want to do elimination again. I know I can cancel out the y's right away. So I'm going to add straight down. 10 minus 10 gives me 0. Negative 2 plus 2 gives me 0. 4x plus 2x gives me 6x. Divide by 6 and x gives me 0. Okay. So I've got to find y. So I'm going to take that and plug it back in. You can plug it back into the first one or the second one. Remember, it doesn't matter. I get negative 2y equals 10. Divide by negative 2. Y equals negative 5. Which on your paper should be A. 0, negative 5. How are we doing? Any questions? Okay. Let's look at 16 then. 3x minus 3y equals 9. And x plus y equals 3. If I wanted to do substitution, what would I have to do? How could I eliminate a number? What would I have to multiply one of these equations by? Yes, Lawrence? 3. So if I multiply this bottom equation by 3, I can now add straight down. 9 and 9 gives me 18. The y's cancel. 3x and 3x is 6x. Just divide by 6. X equals 3. And I'm going to plug it back. Am I going too fast?
No.
Plug it back in. So I get 9 minus 3y equals 9. Subtract 9 from both sides. Negative 3y equals 0. Divide by negative 3. Y equals 0. So x equals 3. Y equals 0. So it's not on here, so let's write it in. Because it does have a solution, it's not no solution. Let's write it in. Okay, is there any questions about graphing, the substitution method, or the elimination method? We feel pretty good about those? You might want to write down those steps. That might be something you want to add to your paper. You know, graphing, make sure they're both in y equals mx plus b form. Graph both and see where they intersect. Substitution, get one variable by itself and plug it in. You know, elimination method, make sure one variable will cancel and add straight down. Solve for that variable and plug it back in. Okay. All right, let's look at 17. 17 says you sell 20 tickets to a school play and collect $114. Prices are $3 for students and $5 for adults. How many of each type of ticket did you sell? 17 says determine the equation, and then 18 is find the solution. Okay, how many tickets did we sell total? 20. How many different types of tickets are there? 2. Which ones?
Students, adults.
Okay. And it says let X be the number of students. So X equals students. What does Y equal then? Y equals adults. How would I say that all the tickets together gives me 20 tickets? What would I do? How would I make that equation? Perfect, Tyler. X plus Y equals 20. Okay, now here's the harder part. You collected a total of $114. $3 for students and $5 for adults. How would I make that equation with money? How would I find out how much money it was? Okay, if I add them together, how much it costs for adults and how much it costs for children, or students, excuse me, how much would that give me total? We know total is going to give me 114, right? Is everybody following my logic here? Okay, and we have to have 2 different types of tickets that we're going to have to add together. But how much did it cost for student tickets?
$3.
So we put a 3 in front of the X, and then 5 in front of the Y. So that would look like C. Do you guys see how I'm thinking out loud? Making that work? Okay. Now we have to, so 17 would be C. Now we have to find 18. How do we want to do this? Do we want to do it by substitution, elimination, or graphing? My choice would not be graphing. Why wouldn't I want to graph?
Big numbers.
Big numbers. Okay? So, which way do we want to do it? Want to do it by substitution? Okay, which one would you solve for, Tristan, then? Which one has letters by themselves with no numbers in front of them? This one. And then I might solve for y just because we're used to doing that. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and I would get y equals negative x plus 20. And then I would plug that in for y. So I get 3x plus 5 times negative x plus 20 equals 114. What is my next step? I want to solve. What do I do next? Who sees the parentheses? Distribute, thank you. Distribute that 5. So I get 3x minus 5x plus 100 equals 114. Now what? We see some like terms? What? 3 and 5x. What's 3x minus 5x? Negative 2x. Okay, I'm still trying to get that x by itself, so what do I do now? Subtract 100. And I get negative 2x equals 14. Now I'm going to divide by negative 2. And I get x equals, what did I do wrong? I shouldn't get negative 7. Miss Carmen, did you see my mistake? Plugged in.
Is it negative x plus 23?
Yeah. X should equal 3. Okay, when I did it by the substitution method, I got 3x plus 3y equals 60. And I did it by negative, so these would be negative. I don't know what I did wrong for the substitution method. And then I had 3x plus 5y equals 114. And I added straight down, giving me 2y. What's 114 minus 60? 54?
54.
Yep. And then I divided by 2, and and y equals 2 goes into 5